CPUs not 100% object code compatible with previous 68,000 CPUs when run in user mode. When run in supervisor mode, there is no difference. 14. In 1996, Motorola updated the standalone core with fully static circuitry, drawing only 2W in low power mode, calling it the MC68SEC000. 15. Motorola ceased production of the MOS MC68000 and MC68008 in 1996. 16. But its spin-off company Freescale Semiconductor was still producing the MC68HC000, MC68HC001, MC68EC000, and MC68SEC000, as well as the MC68302 and MC68306 microcontrollers and later versions of the Dragon Ball family. The 68000's architectural descendants, the 680X0, CPU32, and Coldfire families, were also still in production. More recently, with the Sendai fab closure, all 68HC000, 68020, 68030, and 68882 parts have been discontinued, leaving only the 68SEC000 in production. 17. As a microcontroller core. Since being succeeded by True 30.
Yes, small pause, small break, because we have 2 video ready to go public. It's 9:20. There's a lot of that. I don't understand this, but I like to read it. I never try to read about CPUs this way anyway, any time before. That's the first time I do that, and I like to read more about all these Intels. And I find a lot more Intel papers with these code names. The Sega first generation, second generation, Sandy Bridge, 4th generation there. Of course I was missing a lot there. Yes, we have the whole list there. The Intel 8080, the 8-bit Intel, the 8086, then the 16 bits, the 8180, and then the 386, 486, and some Zürich and AMDs there. But I have all this PDF, and then we go to all the Pentiums. We have some Pentium, and then some AMDs, AMD Pentiums, the 586 and Zürichs. We have to do there after the original Pentium. Then I defined one more, a Pentium M. I defined that. This is why my paper looks, but I'm not going to write it again. Then the Pentium and Celerium Atom. Then the Intel Core. Zürichs there. Should be around, I'm not sure, but there's a little bit mess. Intel Core. Then we start this Intel Cores. Ivy Bridge 3rd generation. Then I did missing a lot. This is the third Intel Core 3rd generation, I think. Ivy Bridge. Then it jumps all the way to the 7th. So I'm thinking what happened with all that. That's some are defined there. I have to read all this. This is why it's 36.1. But it's a long list like this. Yes. So, but I need to. I'm too tired to look at that. So that's another list. So this is keep growing. So actually, I like to go and read about all these Intels, but I will stick to my list just for now. There, we need to know how they're making this CPUs. I don't know, but let's put it public. Drink some cola. Close the curtains. But it's close to 9:30. And I think it should stop after 10 p.m. because people living, they need to go to work. They need to get up in the morning. So I have the whole day tomorrow. Yes, but there's a lot of power on the camcorder left, I think. So I did like to continue. Is I just need to put 2 videos public. That's the Motorola 6000. Motorola 6800. Good, and I have to add it to my playlists. Okay, I forgot to add a lot of video. Yes, Motorola parts 60, delete 61. Yes, so the Motorola 6800 CPU is public. I don't think this kind of video will get much view on YouTube, but you never know. You never know about that. So 9:30, let's just continue. Then I'm finished. When I'm finished this, we are finished with Motorola. Then I will just continue my read list tomorrow. Few days, but actually I like really much to read about the Intels, but it had to wait a few days more. Yes, let's continue. So resume.
2-bit microprocessors. The 68000 is used as the core of many microcontrollers. In 1989, Motorola introduced the MC68302 communications processor. 18 applications. 2 Hitachi 68HC000 CPUs being used on an arcade game PCB at its introduction. The 68000 was first used in high-priced systems, including multi-user microcomputers like the WICAT 150, 19, early Alpha Microsystems computers, Sage 2/4 Tandy 6000/TRS-80 Model 16, and Fortune 32 hours 16 minutes. Single-user workstations such as Hewlett-Packard's HP 9000 Series 200 systems. The first Apollo /Domain systems, Sun Microsystems Sun 1, and the Corpus Concept, and graphics terminals like Digital Equipment Corporations. VX Station 100 and Silicon Graphics Iris 1000 and 1200. Unix systems rapidly moved to the more capable later generations of the 68 Klein, which remained popular in that market throughout the 1980s. By the mid-1980s, falling production cost made the 68,000 viable for use in personal and home computers, starting with the Apple Lisa and Macintosh, and followed by the Commodore Amiga, Atari ST, and Sharp X68000. On the other hand, the Sinclair QL microcomputer was the most commercially important utilization of the 68008, along with its derivatives, such as the ICL-1 per desk business terminal. Helix Systems, in Missouri, United States, designed an extension to the SWTPC SS50 bus, the SS64, and produced systems built around the 68008 processor. While the adoption of RISC and x86 displaced the 68000 series as desktop/workstation CPU, the processor found substantial use in embedded applications. By the early 1990s, quantities of 68,000 CPUs could be purchased for less than $30 per part. Video game manufacturers used the 68,000 as the backbone of many arcade games and home game consoles. Atari's Food Fight, from 1982, was one of the first 68000 based arcade games. Others included SCA's System 16, Capcom's CP System and CPS2, and SNK's Neo Geo. By the late 1980s, the 68000 was inexpensive enough to power home game consoles, such as Sega's Mega Drive / Genesis console and also the Mega CD attachment for it. A Mega CD system has 3 CPUs, 2 of them 68000S. The 1993 multiprocessor Atari Jaguar console used a 68000 as a support chip, although some developers used it as primary processor due to familiarity. The 1994 multiprocessor Sega Saturn console used the 68000 as a sound coprocessor, much as the Mega Drive / Genesis uses the Z80 as a coprocessor for sound and / or of the purposes. By 1995 the 68000 had made it into a handheld game console, Sega's Genesis Nomad, as its main CPU. Certain arcade games, such as Steel Gunner and others based on Namco System 2, use a dual 68000 CPU configuration, 20, and systems with a triple 68000 CPU configuration also exist, such as Galaxy Force and others based on the Sega Y-board, 21, along with a quad 68000 CPU configuration, which has been used by Jaleco. 168,000 for sound has a lower clock rate compared to the other 68,000 CPUs, 22, for gamers such as Big Run and Cisco Heat, another, fifth 68,000, at a different clock rate than the other 68,000 CPUs, was used in the Jaleco arcade game Wild Pilot for input / output, I / O, processing. 23. The 68000 also saw great success as an embedded controller. As early as 1981, laser printers such as the Imagen Imprint 10 were controlled by external boards equipped with the 68000. The first HP LaserJet introduced in 1984 came with a built-in 8 MHz 68000. Other printer manufacturers adopted the 68000, including Apple with its introduction of the LaserWriter in 1985, the first PostScript laser printer. The 68000 continued to be widely used in printers throughout the rest of the 1980s, persisting well into the 1990s in low-end printers. The 68000 also saw success in the field of industrial control systems. Among the systems benefited from having a 68000 or derivative as their microprocessor were families of programmable logic controllers, PLCs, manufactured by Allen Bradley, Texas Instruments and subsequently, following the acquisition of that division of T, by Siemens. Users of such systems do not accept product obsolescence at the same rate as domestic users, and it is entirely likely that despite having been installed over 20 years ago, many 68000-based controllers will continue in reliable service well into the 21st century. In a number of digital oscilloscopes from the ATS-24, the 68000 has been used as a waveform display processor. Some models including the LaCroix 9400/9425 also use the 68000 as a waveform math processor, including addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of two waveforms/references/waveform memories, and some digital oscilloscopes using the 68000, including the 9400/9400, can also perform fast Fourier transform functions on a waveform. The 683XX microcontrollers, based on the 68000 architecture, are used in networking and telecom equipment, television set-top boxes, laboratory and medical instruments, and even handheld calculators. The MC68302 and its derivatives have been used in many telecom products. From Cisco, 3Com, Ascend Marconi, Cyclades and others. Past models of the Palm PDAs and the handspring visor used the Dragon Ball, a derivative of the 68000. Alpha Smart used the Dragon Ball family in later versions of its portable word processors. Texas Instruments used the 68000 in its high-end graphing calculators, the T89 and T92 series and Voyage 200. A modified version of the 68000 formed the basis of the IBM XT/370 hardware emulator of the System 370 processor. Architecture. Motorola 68000 registers 31, 23, 15, 07, 00. Bit position. Data registers D0, data 0, D1, data 1, D2, data 2, D3, data 3, D4, data 4, D5, data 5, D6, data 6, D7, data 7. Address registers A0, address 0, A1, address 1, A2, address 2, A3, address 3, A4, address 4, A5, address 5, A6, address 6. Stack pointers A7/USP stack pointer, user, A7/SSP stack pointer, supervisor, program counter PC program counter. Condition code register 1511312110006050403030200100. Bit position, TSM0I000XNZVCCCR. Address bus. The 68000 has a 24-bit external address bus and 2-bit select signals replaced a 0. These 24 lines can therefore address 16 megabytes of physical memory with bit resolution. Address storage and computation is 32 bits internally. However, the 8 high-order address bits are ignored due to the physical lack of device pins. This allows it to run software written for a logically flat 32-bit address space, while accessing only a 24-bit physical address space. Motorola Synton with the internal 32-bit address space was forward compatibility, making it feasible to write 68000 software that would take full advantage of later 32-bit implementations of the 68000 instructions 8.2. However, this did not prevent programmers from writing forward incompatible software. 24-bit software that discarded the upper address byte, or used it for purposes other than addressing, could fail on 32-bit 68000 implementations. For example, early, pre-7.0, versions of Apple's macOS used the hybrid of memory block master pointers to hold flags such as locked and purgeable. Later versions of the OS moved the flags to a